What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the second episode of my NHL 25 Pittsburgh Penguins Franchise Mode Series. As always, thank you guys so much for supporting the last episode. If you can thumbs up on this one as well, I'd really appreciate it. As you guys can see, we're currently 2-4 in the preseason, which isn't too great. Luckily, though, last year the team surprised me, actually made a deep playoff run, making it all the way to the conference final before losing to the Ottawa Senators. So I think we made some nice moves in the offseason, really make this team even stronger. Again, the goal here is to try and win one more Stanley Cup with that core of Malkin, Crosby, and Letang. As you guys can see on that first line, we got a 91 Malkin playing with a 94 Crosby, and Laine now added into the mix. They get +5. I think Laine should really thrive there. Two playmakers. Of course, he is a sniper. Second line, you got Robertson on the team now, playing with Jamie Benn and Kevin Hayes. Jamie Benn was our big free agent acquisition. Could play wing, but as a centerman, he's got really good faceoffs, 93, so might as well have him in the middle. Michael Bunting there, Rucker McGroarty, and Raquel on the third line. Raquel dropped to 82. I'm hoping to get it going here, though. And of course, McGroarty is our best young player. Fourth line, we got Eller, Achari, and O'Connor, I think, is pretty solid. Defensively here, we actually have Byram now on the team, playing top pair with Erik Karlsson, Letang, Patterson on the second, and then Petrie, Murphy on the bottom. I actually think this is good D-depth, plus, of course, led by Karlsson, Letang, very solid. Goaltending-wise, Jarry's our starter, Blomqvist there backing him up. I did see a bunch of comments saying go out and get Marc-Andre Fleury, so I'm definitely going to look to do that. Power play 1 there gets a +5. I think it looks really nasty. Power play 2 here is okay. I feel like power play 1 probably gonna get like, minute 45 of the 2-minute power play. 4-man there looks good. Again, we get a +5. 4-man 2 gets a -1, but almost never on the ice. PK-wise, Achari, Eller should be able to hold it down. Defensively, actually, we got Crosby out there with Jamie Benn. So Crosby's getting a ton of ice time. Rucker, McGroarty, O'Connor on the third unit. And then 3-man there could be better chemistry, but luckily Malkin, Crosby are high enough rated. It shouldn't matter too much. Now, in terms of the AHL team, guys, they actually had a solid season last year as well. You can see Pulin, Ponomarev, and Pustin in there on the first line. Dragicensev we picked up. He's got Mrazov there, Bemstrom. Koivunen in here on the third line is actually not too bad. 22-77, medium top 6. Maybe he ends up making the team. We got Cruz Lucius there, of course, Chaz's brother. Defensively, Aho, St. Ivany could get called up. Pickering, our best defensive prospect, 21-75, medium top 4. So AHL team should be decent again. Vyazavoy here, hopefully I said that right, 75 medium fringe. Honestly, isn't too bad of an AHL starter. So I'm curious to see what happens this season, guys. Again, hopefully we are a playoff team again. I also mentioned last season, but Crosby's actually the all-time assist leader for the Penguins now, and he's catching Lemieux for goals. He's only 64 goals away from passing Mario Lemieux, which I think would be pretty crazy. Definitely could get that done in the next couple seasons. In terms of points as well, he's about 53, I think, away from breaking Lemieux's record, so definitely should smash Lemieux's point record this season. After that, you got Malkin there for penalty minutes, and then, of course, Fleury there as the goalie record. So if we bring back Fleury and Crosby can pass Lemieux's record, we'll literally have arguably the best, Penguin skater and goalie of all time. And before we get started here, guys, I'll first show you the ratings. So we've got 89 offense, 91 defense, 86 goaltending. Pretty balanced team. Let's see what happens. And I'm looking at the Minnesota Wild right now, guys. As you can see, they actually re-signed Marc-Andre Fleury. He's still 82 overall at 40 years old, which is pretty impressive. Making $2.2 million there for 1 more year. I feel like there's definitely a really good chance this is his final season. He's actually still got the X factor there for Ventura, great goalie skating. So value's not too high. If we do trade for him, though, we'll definitely have to send Blomqvist to the AHL, which, I mean, he could carry them and potentially could trade Jarry later if he's, not doing too well in the NHL. But for right now, I think we would send Blomqvist to the A. Now, it looks like a third-round pick would be about equal value here for Fleury. Only thing is we'd actually be over the league's maximum salary cap, so they'd have to retain a bit of salary, which teams don't usually like to do, but 1 year left for a third. Yeah, trade's rejected, so that means we have to overpay here for Fleury. But honestly, I feel like he's worth it. We'll throw in this goalie prospect here, Giuliano. Would they now retain salary values on our side for sure? I feel like they're definitely playing a bit of hardball with us. We'll also give them a future 4th-round pick there, just to retain $500,000 on Fleury. And now they say yes. Okay, so hopefully everybody's happy. Hopefully, too, Fleury can be a part of one more special Stanley Cup run. And so like I was saying, guys, we're going to keep Jarry there as a starter. He is 85 overall. Good chance we could move him this summer, though, to clear up some cap space, especially if Blomqvist does grow. But Fleury will be the backup for now. And like I said, we'll send Blomqvist down to the A and hopefully can get that team to another playoff appearance. All right, guys, we're now in December. We have a record here of 19-13-2, so we're playing pretty good hockey. We're actually 3rd place there in the division, tied with the Capitals and the Hurricanes, so very tight apart from the Islanders, who are actually dominating 51 points. AHL team-wise, 15-12-3, which is actually still good for 2nd in the division. So I didn't think that would be, but obviously everyone must be pretty close. Also, too, Blomqvist there playing really well in the AHL. He's got 9.18, 2.41 goals against. Would expect more wins. Leading score there is Ponomarev. And in the NHL, it's Sidney Crosby with 39, as I mentioned. Definitely should break Lemieux's record this season. Also, too, guys, one thing I totally forgot to do at the start of the season was look at contract extensions. We got a lot of guys here that need new deals. Malkin, we're not going to let him go no matter, how much he's asking for. 9.5. It's a little pricey for getting Malkin, but, definitely would look to do it. No movement clause there actually makes the contract interest max, so we'll see how cheap we can get him. Honestly, it looks like 8-7 would about get it done. Maybe he would take that just to, stay tied with Sid. We'll try. And now Patrick Laine also needs a new contract. He currently only has 7 goals, 13 assists. Playing first line, first power play with Crosby and Malkin. I don't quite get that. Like, he should be doing a lot better. Was making 8-7, and he wants 10-7. Yeah, I don't know about this one. We're going to have to wait, because, like, if he finished the year at 40 points, I don't see why we'd pay him that. Jamie Benn we can't extend yet because he was on a 1-year contract. Kevin Hayes for the right price I'd bring back. $6 million for a 33-year-old. This also just seems expensive. I don't know, maybe I'm not used to, like, the cap going up. Bunting, Murphy also need new deals. Again, lots of money to spend. We do have $33 million on extension dollars. Bunting wants almost 6. That just seems pricey as well. No one's giving us a deal here. Connor Murphy, 4.9. That's actually pretty decent for a defensive defenseman. We use in our PK. So I think he's another guy we're just going to wait on and see what he's asking for end of the season. Petrie, obviously, no rush. Same with Eller. Achar. Any of those cheap guys, really don't see a point. Fleury we could extend, but he might retire, so we'll just wait on him as well. And there we go, guys. Malkin actually accepted the offer, so he's making the exact same as Sid, which I think is pretty cool. And now we just got an offer here, guys, for the Canucks. A 3rd and a 6th for Ponomarev and Malota. I don't really mind moving the goalie, but Ponomarev might actually end up being a pretty solid player for us. I'm going to decline for now. And now the Canucks are offering us a 3rd and a 4th here for Gustafsson, a 6th, and Vyazavoy. That's actually a pretty good offer. Gustafsson there's only got medium toxic potential as a defenseman. Let me take a look here at his age. 20, 76. I mean, 76 overall at 20 years old already is actually pretty good. 82 D awareness, 84 shot block, and stick check. Ooh, I didn't realize he was that good. But you know what? I would take him off, and I would do it maybe for a 4th rounder here, just because goalies are pretty easy to come by. And they do say yes. Okay, again, right now, Vyazavoy is only the AHL backup anyways. And now, guys, with the trade deadline here with a record of 30, 27, and 4. We're currently outside of the playoffs, but we do have a game in hand on the Flyers, and we're only 1 point back. So we're right there fighting in terms of the Atlantic. It's the Canadiens there at 68, Maple Leafs 64, Sabres 63. So a lot of teams trying to get that final spot. Obviously, we don't have a first-round pick. Crosby, Malkin aren't getting any younger, so I'm still going to go for it. If it costs us, some assets we miss, I'd rather at least, have tried and not made it. Miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I'm sure you guys all know that one. Now, in the AHL, Ponomarev still leading scorer there. He's got 39 points. In the NHL, it's Sidney Crosby, who's already got 70 points. There is no way we waste a potential 100-point season from Sidney Crosby and not make the playoffs. Jari there's only got a 900 save percentage, so I don't know, maybe move on from Tristan Jarry here. We'll get to the trade deadline. Curious to see what Fleury's stats are like. Definitely a conservative buyer. I don't think we're throwing around, McGroarty or any of our top players, but definitely looking to, make some improvements. Anderson's available, 1 year left. You got Matheson there as well. Jared Spurgeon. Alex DeBrincat. That is interesting. A6 overall. Maybe we look to do like a Laine flip, especially since he hasn't been doing well, and obviously he's asking for a bit too much money in my opinion, 10.7. Jared McCann, Tarasenko. I actually was looking at Tarasenko last year as a cheaper option to a Laine. Kirby Doc, 85 overall. Not that high value. Sam Bennett there, Brent Burns, Ryan McDonough. So a lot of players here that could help us. Again, I'd be looking at like a Laine for ADB flip, especially. Let's take a look and see how Laine's been playing at this point. Value there is probably less than DeBrincat, and he's got 16 goals, 21 assists. Again, I don't know, first line with Crosby and Malkin. Crosby's got 10 more goals, double his assists. Like, Laine needs to be doing better than that. And he would go to Detroit. Okay, there's really a good chance here to make something happen. We actually save $1 million in cap space as well. Also, too, guys, like I was saying, I want to take a look here at Fleury's stats and see how he's done as the backup. 908, 259. Maybe we do just run him and Blomqvist here in the NHL. He's got 913 down in the A. Move on from Jerry, and of course, Ivankovic's our goalie of the future. Alright, guys, so the Red Wings are interested in a lot of our prospects. I'm going to try moving on from Worrell here, 1867, medium top 6. We got a lot of top 6s who are kind of further along already. Obviously, Pickering there, best defensive prospect. We also have Brunick here, though, 1971, who's also pretty solid. So, I don't know, Laine and Worrell there for DeBrincat. He's on the block. I like this trade for us. The Red Wings say no. They said we did the right job getting fair value, which means I think it's probably pretty close. Obviously not as close as a 7th round pick, but probably not too far off. Pieni Niemi here, 2170. Actually, Patila, 1 year older, same rating. Or Beliveau there's 23, only 1 overall higher. We can move him and like a Chicago 4th rounder. Somehow Justin Hull's not the lowest value player on the team. It's actually Cholowski there, who I'll just add on for the roster spot. We'll see what the Red Wings say now. Trade's accepted. Let's go. So big time trade. Laine didn't work with us. Rather than, waiting it out, we just flipped him. And actually, the Red Wings here are trying to flip him themselves. That'd be kind of nuts. And I was looking around for a cheap defenseman, guys. The Ducks have Radko Gudas on the block. Of course, that's their captain. 82 overall, making $4 million bucks. We'd have to retain 50%, and he's apparently been scratched all year, which is kind of interesting. He's actually top 6 for defensive ratings for them. Defensive awareness is low. He's got a good shot block, really good physical. I'm just thinking as like a bottom pair guy, maybe bring us something we don't have. So again, we want to retain 50% on this. If we can get him for another cheap piece, obviously, flipping Laine there for DeBrincat, maybe these small moves could actually kind of put us over the top and make that playoff push. Also, Jeff Petrie here, we could send back the other way because we don't need him. So at that point, probably don't have to add too much. It looks like Petrie in a 4th would get it done, guys. We actually have 2 4ths still for next year. Let's see what the Ducks say. Trades rejected, a bit off. Okay, so we could just add a future 7th. So we'll try adding a 2028 7th there as well. Again, we're trying to make this team better without giving up too much. And the Ducks do say yes. So hopefully bringing in ADB, Gudas, that's enough to just, like I said, give that team a little bit of a push to try and get that final playoff spot in the East. And right here, guys, I'm actually trying to make a big-time trade to Chicago Blackhawks. They got Caleb Denoyer on the team, currently in the CHL. He was a 10th overall pick last year. 18 years old, already 74 overall there with high top 6 potential. So I think he could end up being a really good player. We also got Laurent Brossoit coming back just for the roster spot, offering up Tristan Jarry there, who they want. Again, numbers there are worse than Fleury. I think for next year, Blomqvist could definitely be the starter. And then, of course, Ivankovic, like I said, the goalie of the future. I'm also giving them back their 2nd round pick. So this is a pretty good offer here, I think, for Denoyer. I would have less picks in this year's draft, but like we're not getting somebody as good as Denoyer in the 2nd round. Let's see what the Blackhawks say. They want both pieces. Values on our side. Trades accepted. Wow. Okay. So again, we're trying to, build for the future a little bit here while, also still staying competitive. And I think with the goalie depth we have, trading away Jarry there isn't too big a deal. And because this role's back, if we call up Blomqvist here to get some more NHL games, it should help his growth. And then we could just send Brossoit down to the AHL to try and help them out a bit. And now this is kind of nuts, guys. I was looking around and I saw that Kaapo Kakko was on the block for the Rangers. Actually never got signed last year. Somehow didn't realize that till now. At 25 years old, he's still 83 overall, which isn't bad. Medium toxic potential there. He's a 2-way forward. He's got good physical, pretty good defense. I feel like he's a guy that could play 2nd or 3rd line, 2nd power play, one of the PKs as well, maybe even the top unit. So could definitely help us out. And it's the right age too. We can help us out now and in the future. And offering up Tristan Braz here, 23 years old, 78 overall, medium top 6. Somehow has higher value. I'm guessing just because he's younger and has the same potential. So we can get Kaapo Kakko for him. This is a great trade. And the Rangers say yes. Wow, yeah. So that was a trade I did not expect to happen, but just looking around there, I saw it. So I think we're done for the deadline. Originally, I was just going to make like 1 move. We ended up making 4, and hopefully those moves do pay off. And at the end of the trade deadline here, guys, the Panthers are offering us a 2nd and a 3rd there for Connor Murphy, who is on an expiring deal. Again, I'm still hoping we do make the playoffs this season, so I'm going to say no. And the trade deadline is now complete, guys. As I said, very active for us. We actually had the last trade of the day there, getting Kaapo Kakko. You got John Marino there going to the LA Kings. Tolvanen going to the Buffalo Sabres. Alexiak to the Hurricanes. Braden Yeager on the move with Colby Barlow. That's 2 of the Jets' best prospects. And they get back Adam Larson in 2/3. That does not seem like enough. Oh my goodness. Not as bad as Taylor Hall for Adam Larson, but that is a lot to give up, especially for, 35-year-old Adam Larson at that point. I'm not sure how the Columbus Blue Jackets made that happen. Even if he was 85 overall, they're getting 2 top prospects. Our trade for Denoyer. You got some seconds being swapped there with Dickinson, Lindgren, Kirby Dach there, the National Predators. Kalen Lind goes to the Canadians. Our trade for Gudas. And you actually did the Red Wings flipping Patrick Laine. They got back Jared Spurgeon and Cameron Reed. Very interesting. The Red Wings there also got Bo Akey. Gustin there goes to the Oilers. Brandon Saad to the Dallas Stars. Our blockbuster there, Laine for DeBrincat. Matthew Jost to the Capitals. Barry goes to the Blue Jackets. Johansson to the Sens. Elias Samsonov to the Kings. Fogelback to the Knights. Let's see here. Isaac Howard to the Kraken. With a 2nd and a 4th for Jared McCann. Now, that doesn't seem like enough there. They're kind of the opposite, but I think McCann was on an expiring contract. Maybe Howard has had some growth, so definitely some interesting trades at the deadline. And now Darcy Kemper here's on waivers, making 5.25 for the next 2 years. And he's only 82 overall, so yeah, I don't really think worth picking up, even if we didn't have the goalie depth we did. All right, guys, so after that busy trade deadline, here's an updated look at the team. Obviously, we got ADB playing that first line right wing spot next to Crosby Malkin. Unfortunately, they only get a +3 now, but again, Laine wasn't really doing much, so I think it's okay. Second line there's the same with the 3rd and the 4th. Defensively here, obviously, no change apart from Gudas on that bottom pair. Also, too, I was looking at it, kind of crazy, Letang not getting as many minutes and actually doing a lot better this year. He's already got 35 points. Last year, he finished with like 21. Obviously, in goal, big change. Fleury's now the starter. Blomqvist there backing him up. Mentioned Brossoit going down to the AHL to start. So they still have a good goalie there, at least for the rest of the season. And in terms of the power play, you guys can see ADB there on the first unit. Now, in terms of Kaapo Kakko, unfortunately, we cannot sign him to play this year. It's way too late in the year, but we will have him for next season. There's a couple games left in the season, guys, and a conversation just popped up with the coach. I saw we were like in a playoff spot, but we've lost the last couple games. Hopefully, it means other teams have lost. We set to make the playoffs this season. Now we're officially clinched. Okay, there we go. So the deadline did work in our favor. We got some management morale there, as well as some influence experience. So again, guys, I was a little bit worried, but luckily, the moves we made paid off. We actually have 89 points, so the other teams kind of slowed way down. We have 2 games left here against Chicago, Tampa Bay. Unless we lose out, which would be absolutely terrible. No, we beat the Blackhawks there, which is kind of funny. We made the big trade with them. We also beat the Lightning to finish there with 93 points on the season. So we're going to be playing the Capitals in the first round. Another classic Crosby-Ovi matchup. Really can't write it better than that. In the AHL, 34, 32, and 4. Unfortunately, they're going to miss the playoffs. Most likely, they actually have a couple games left, and they could catch the Thunderbirds there for the last playoff spot. AHL team obviously is definitely, the least of my worries. If they make the playoffs, it's a nice bonus. If they don't, it's not the end of the world. So at the end of the year now, guys, all the playoff spots have been made. Again, we are playing the Capitals. I think that should be a good matchup for us. Hopefully, can get by them there and make another playoff run. DeBrincat here had 89 points. Wow, so I got to see how he did with us. Crosby ended up finishing with 90 points right on. Not 100 like I was hoping, but 90 is still very solid, especially when he's, 39 years old now. Carlson there, 56 as a defenseman, is also quite impressive. And now behind Crosby, guys, you had Malkin there with 86. I'm not sure what I saw with DeBrincat. I swear he had 80-something. Must have been some sort of glitch. But with us, he was actually close to a point per game, 17 and 20. So yeah, he's doing a lot better there with Crosby and Malkin than Laine ever did. -2 isn't ideal, but he's got the points. And all 3 are still under contract, so next year they'll have a full season together. Hopefully that works out well. You got Jamie Benn there at 61. I actually forgot to mention at the trade deadline, but he lost all of his X Factors. I'm not sure how, he lost them all in 5 months, but he still does have the good face-offs. I'm guessing it's just because he turned 36. That's what happened. Carlson there, though, 56 points. I guess the same could happen for him. I don't know if we're going to move him. We'll see what happens this year. If we win the Cup, then I probably will trade away everybody but the core. Hayes, Bunting there, close to 50. Same with Robertson, 46. McGroarty, 45. High top 6, 82. He should grow this summer. Letang, 39. Actually almost double his point production from last year. Raquel still at 36. Again, we got absolutely, destroyed by EA. I don't know how he goes from 85 to 82 after putting up 62. After that, you got really no one, contributing too much. Byram didn't have any power play time. He was first D pair, though, so I thought maybe could have done a little bit better than 18 points. Now, goalie stats here. So, Fleury, 904. Blomqvist had a 923. Obviously, he's playing backup, but that's very impressive. And Fleury stats even are still better than Jari's. Now, looking at the AHL, Brossoit there below 900. Not ideal, especially an 81 should be doing better than that. Ponomarev there, just under 50 points. I think they do still have 2 games left, so they'll probably hit it. Dragochensa, Morozov there, both 44. Pusin there at 42. And look at the entire league now, guys. You actually had a tie. McKinnon and McDavid both had 125 points. McKinnon, though, had 64 goals. I think goals might be the tiebreaker for the Art Ross. Eichel, 117. Then you had Draisaitl. Zach Hyman still crushing it. 91 overall still. Obviously, not scoring much in real life. Makar, Hughes, Stuchla, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. So looking at the goals here. Wow. David Pastrnak, 70. Ovi, 66. McKinnon was actually third. So obviously, we got to try and shut down Ovi there. 40 years old. He's still crushing it. Behind Makar, you got Hughes, as always. These two are, like I said, I've said it so many times, they're literally cheat codes in franchise. Basically guaranteed 1 and 2 in scoring for defensemen. Sorokin there, most wins by a goalie, 45. Again, Islanders doing the division. Save percentage here is Montembeault with the Montreal Canadiens, 923. Very impressive. And then goals against, there's also going to be Montembeault. 39 wins. I think he's got a really good chance to actually win the Vezina. And then looking at rookie skaters here, Otto Ratu with the Canucks. Interesting name to see, 60 points. Berkeley Catton, 58. Hagen's there, 57, but he's a -3. So Otto Ratu probably win the Calder. Like I said, very interesting. And now check out the entire league here, guys. The Avalanche won the President's Trophy, 115. They're followed by the Oilers, the Islanders. Let's take a look here. Montreal was 7th. We finished, where are we? 13th in the entire league. We'll take that. Looks like the top 16 do all make the playoffs. And last place in the NHL is the St. Louis Blues, 58 points. Doing worse than the Sharks there. Goals for the Oilers were at the top. I don't see us anywhere, so we must be in the middle. And then goals against here, the Preds were the best, and the Lightning there were the worst. Again, I don't see us anywhere, so very mediocre, but all that matters now is the playoffs. Can we get lucky? Can we get hot at the right time and try and get a 4th Stanley Cup here for these Crosby-led Penguins? And like I mentioned before, guys, we got the Capitals here in round 1. Ovechkin, Strome, and Wilson there, still their first line. Nothing really that crazy. They're all mid-80s. Protis there, playing with Dubois and Milano. Mangiapane, McMichael, Joseph, LaPierre, Dickinson, Comfort. So really no one crazy on this team. A lot of depth for sure. That's a very solid 4th line. It's better than ours. But when you look at a first line, that's all 86s. I'm not, too impressed. Defensively, they got Carlson still 90. Chikrin's still there. Sandin, Matt Roy, Bear, Fairbury. Goaltending here. Wow, okay, they got 83 Thompson. And they got 75 Stevenson backing him up. So that is interesting to see. I like our chances looking on paper. Obviously, they did finish better than us during the regular season, but I think we had a little bit of a slow start. I feel like we should be able to beat this team. They got the home ice advantage, though. So, first 2 games here are going to be in the nation's capital, in Washington. let's see what happens here, guys. Taking a while here for the first game. We lose 4-1, unfortunately. Game 2, 3-2 OT win. All right, so we answered back. Heading home now to Pittsburgh, all tied up. Game 3 is a 5-3 win. Let's go. And then Game 4 is a 6-2 win. All of a sudden, we have the momentum. 3-1 series lead. All we have to do is win one of the next 3. And we're in Washington. 7-1 win. That's a statement win. We said, you know what? Crosby versus Ovi. The debate's over. It is Sid who's the better player. And we beat the Capitals there in 5. And next up here in round 2, we actually have the New York Islanders, who, of course, won the Eastern Conference. And so now look at the Islanders lineup here, guys. You got Nelson, Horvat, Barzal in the first line, which obviously is pretty solid, but ours is better. Dadonov there, 81 on the second line is interesting, playing with Pajot and Lee. You got Duclair, Cizikas, Holmstrom, Sturm, Sundqvist, and Tisplikov. Defensively, Pelech, Dobson, Polak, Romanov. So same top 4. Samuel Bolduc's down 82. They got Mayfield there. So pretty similar defense. Sorokin, Varlamov, so their goaltending. I mean, I'm trying to even think. What moves did they make? They brought in Dadonov, and that's pretty much it. And this team somehow won the East, which is pretty surprising to me with that roster. Now, Sorokin looking really good, 927 save percentage. Fleury's got a 929 though. He's actually got better than Ilya Sorokin. That's crazy. Matchups there. We're second in goals for. They're third. I mean, honestly, pretty close. Aside from the penalty kill, we're 15th, so one of the worst. Whereas they have the best penalty kill in the playoffs, 93.8. So definitely going to be a tough matchup here, but if we get by the Islanders, there'll be another big statement win. So first game there, guys, we unfortunately lose 6-3, but then we come back and win in game 2, 3-2. And I'm pretty sure that same thing happened the last round. Lost the first game, then won the second, 3-2 in OT. And we're headed home now. Obviously, Islanders had that home ice advantage. In Pittsburgh for game 3, 5-4 loss and a 3-0 loss. Okay, so unfortunately, we don't get those 2 big wins at home. Still have a chance, though, if we can win 3 straight here. Game 5 is going to be in New York. 4-3 win, giving us some life. Heading home for game 6. 4-1 win. Alrighty, all of a sudden, the boys are buzzing. Game 7, champs to advance to the conference finals for back-to-back seasons. Can we get it done? First period here in game 7. Not a good look. Down 3-1. Dobson, Romanov, Duclair. We're actually down 3-0. Crosby, though, made a bit of a game. They're outshooting us by basically triple, 19-7. 3-2. McGroarty. All of a sudden, we have some life. Duclair. Okay, we needed that early goal there to tie it up. Not okay. 5-2. I probably... Oh, Jamie Benn shorthanded. 5-3. Okay. I mean, we're not dead yet. Tisplikov 6-3. We probably are dead. 7-3. Yeah, we can finish the game. 7-3. They gave me hope a couple times. Unfortunately, though, I guess was not meant to be. We lose the Islanders in 7 in round 2. And in regards to the AHL team, guys, unfortunately, they did not make the playoffs. They probably had to win one of the last 2, and unfortunately, they lost both there to Hartford. And check this out. The Boston Bruins are Stanley Cup champions. That's honestly kind of surprising to me. I didn't think Boston would have the team in a couple years to get that done, but good for them. You got Columbus jumping from 10-1 to get the first overall pick. My goodness. Philly as well, 9-2. Pretty crazy to see those 2 teams making those kind of crazy jumps. And I look at the playoff sheet here, guys. You got the Bruins getting some revenge with the Panthers, beating them in 6 in the first round. They then beat the Canadiens in 6, Islanders in 6, and then the Predators finally in 5 in the Stanley Cup Final. And I look at the playoff stats here for our team. You got Jamie Benn, Sidney Crosby, Alex DeBrincat, and Evgeny Malkin all over a point per game. Honestly, Ben's probably the most impressive because only guy here not in that first line. Plus, he had 9 goals. Kevin Hayes as well, close to 2 point per game. You got Rucker McGroarty there, had 9-12. I'm hoping, yeah, he's already 83. Maybe it could be 84 by the start of next season. Robertson, 8. Letang, Carlson, I mean, not bad, I guess. Now, Marc-Andre Fleury, below 900. Obviously, I'd like to see a little bit better. I am curious to see whether or not he'll retire this summer. Awards there, I think we know all of those. Individually, McKinnon, back-to-back Ross trophies. Connor McDavid, though, got the Hart Trophy. Makar, another James Norris, also got the Lady Byng. You got Autry Ratu there with the Calder, as we expected. Pasternak, Conn Smythe. It is pretty funny to see McDavid win it back-to-back years, but obviously only winning 1 cup in those 2 years. Montembeault does get the Vezina. Saros got the William Jennings. You then got Martinez with the Bill Masterton. Seattle coach Jack Adams. Barkov got the Selke. McDavid, Ted Lindsay. And then finally Pasternak there with Maurice Richard. And look at the AHL here, guys. You got the Lehigh Valley Phantoms winning the Calder Cup. Jimmy Snuggerud actually got the most points in the AHL. And then Philip Misar there was MVP. Burrows, most goals. Frondell, best rookie. You got Villain, hopefully I said that right, best defenseman. Peretz, best goalie. Bump playoff MVP. Misar, sportsmanship. Yakimachuk, community involvement. And finally, Peretz there also lowest goals against. And now looking at retired players here, guys. You got Mark Giordano, Jack Johnson, Cal Clutterbuck, Derek Ryan, Matt Martin there. Obviously, the one I'm curious about is Marc-Andre Fleury, who does not retire. Okay, so probably will be the backup behind Blomqvist next season. And now, guys, we're at the draft. This is, of course, the McKenna draft, so pretty crazy. Columbus going to be picking him first overall. Next year, if we're bad, we could get Landon Dupont. But with Malkin and Crosby both coming back for one more year, I feel like it'll probably be 2028 where we're actually looking at a rebuild. And now, like I was saying, guys, you do have McKenna going first overall there. You've also got Stenberg there going second. He should be a very good player. You got Robrecht there, Matthew Preston, Ethan Belchetz, Diorio there. So some good players for sure. In terms of the gems, low top 4 is kind of meh. Guaranteed medium top 6 can be like 3rd round. I guess I could pin that guy, but honestly, sometimes the gems are worse than just, you know, who your scouts find. Lundstrom, chance to be low franchise, defenseman. Wow. I mean, I'm almost positive he's not, but if he's low elite, going again like the 6th round, that's still really solid. And this is kind of crazy, guys. I don't think I've ever seen this. We got a guaranteed low top 6, Isaiah Craig, who doesn't even have a scout rank, which, I mean, a guaranteed low top 6 definitely should be higher ranked than 444, so we can get him with the last pick of the draft. And Cahill here, we could also get like 7th round, who's supposed to be low top 6. We also got Xavier Villeneuve here, medium top 4 potential, could go 2nd round. And look at this, guys. We got another guaranteed low top 4, 210, so that's like a 7th. And then Morse here, 582 ranking for a low top 4. Not even on the scout ranks. We're going to be getting some really good guys at the end of the draft. Also, McKenna there just went first overall, 83 medium franchise. He'll immediately jump into that Blue Jackets lineup. And now right here, guys, we're trying to trade the Columbus Blue Jackets. Of course, just picked first overall to get their 7th, offering up signing rights to Hayes and Bunting. Don't really think we'll be bringing either guy back, and they reject that offer. Now, it said they were interested in Hayes, so maybe we could just do something like a 2031 7th with him to get their 7th. And they say yes. So I just need a pick here, guys. Early 3rd round. We'll take a look at the rest of the 1st. After McKenna, you had Stenberg, 78 high elites. You got this guy, 80 medium elites. Actually, a lot of medium elites there. All the way, I mean, Peacock, 7. Belchetz, 8. Diorio, 9. Burchild at 10. So, entire top 10 there is medium elite. So, very kind of stacked. Oh my goodness. LaSalle, 72 medium franchise for the Blackhawks. Number 18. What a pick for them, getting a awesome goalie. Obviously, we already had Ivankovic, so I'm not too upset. But Blackhawks there made up pretty well. And now at this point, guys, we look at like who's supposed to go next. There's really no one great, so we'll probably immediately go to our pins. Next highest guy we have is Kenneth Meach, guaranteed medium top 6 and a gem. We're taking him a little bit early, so you know what? Maybe we could trade back, pick up a pick. I don't know if the Wild would go for this. We're going to try and pick up a 7th rounder here to move back 20 spots in the 3rd. And they say yes. Okay, so that actually worked out really well since our guy should still be there at 87. I don't see him getting taken yet, so I believe he should be. Yeah, Meach is still there. I made sure to be kind of careful. Take him still like, 6-7 picks early. And look at this. He's 66 overall out of the draft. Medium top 6, late 3rd. That's an awesome pick. And our next pick, guys, is 116. So we could potentially get this guy who I just realized the last name is Goalie, which is pretty funny for defenseman. Again, the low top 4, I'd honestly rather just take a chance on like the low franchise or even the medium elite. So we'll sim to that pick, number 116 here in the 4th round. Did a goalie get taken? I don't see him, so he actually might still be there, which means we might have to, move back in. He is still there. Okay, honestly, pretty cool last name. We'll take a chance. He's a gem. And 65 overall, low top 4. Pretty cool pick. I just realized, guys, pick number 420. Not bad. And I'm also trying to swap 4th round picks here, guys, with the Devils. Ours next year for theirs. They say yes. Reason being, I almost missed him, but there's actually one to Spitfire available who I think's got like medium top 9. That's Ethan Garden here. We'll take a chance. I believe that's what his potential is. And yeah, it is. 64 overall, medium top 9. So for a sniper there, late 4th round, that's also really good value. And next year, guys, I'm offering up Bunting signing rights with a future 5th for the Leafs 5th round pick this year. That's to try and get, I think, the low franchise guy, I believe. So he should still be available. Again, there's tons of guys I actually want in this year's draft, so I don't mind trading future picks, but honestly, the draft might not be as good. I feel like our scouts found a lot of gems. So the first guy I'm going to take here is actually Kuta, the guy who could be medium elite. This will be an absolute steal here in the 5th. And he's a medium top 6, which honestly is still a really good value. And next year, guys, I'm offering the Avs a couple prospects. Nothing crazy. Harding, Patilla. Honestly, could probably just do Patilla here. And yeah, they say yes for the 5th round pick. Reason being, you're going to try and get that low franchise guy. I'm taking him a little bit early here, late 5th round, but the Avs wanted him. Oscar Lundstrom. Imagine he's low franchise. That'd be an awesome pick. And he's low elite. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. 52 overall. Again, solid for where we're getting him. And now finally here, guys, we're trying to get the Boston Bruins last pick in the draft, offering up the Dallas Stars 7th rounder 2030, which should have more value, as unless the Stars win the Stanley Cup, that 7th rounder will be higher valued. So at this point, we should be able to get all the rest of the guys we have pinned, as they're all supposed to go very late. Also, did a medium elite just get taken? I'll have to go back and check that. But looking at our guys here, so 3 don't have scout ranks. So I guess that'd be Cahill going next, just because he is 211 there, Central, 229 in ours. Or I guess based on Central, it might actually be Wells, 210. We'll take Cahill here first, though. And let's see. He is low top 6, 54 overall. And actually, no, it was a low elite there getting picked by the Islanders, but still. 68 overall as well, late 6th round. That's an awesome pick by them. And our next pick here, guys, is early in the 7th. So at this point, I will take the guy who's supposed to go to 10, Dorian Wells. Again, guaranteed low top 4 in the 7th. You can't really ask for much better than that. Another 7th round pick here. We'll go with Craig, guaranteed low top 6. Like I said, I mean, wait, low bottom 6? I swear he was guaranteed low top 6. Did I read that wrong? Or what the heck? Maybe it was a 3 out of 4 low top 6. I swear it was guaranteed, but I must have read it wrong, or we just got screwed. I'll see in the edit. I'm sure, you know, you guys watching will know. Now, Morris here, guaranteed low top 4. And the low 7th, what? I've never seen that before. Now, still, guys, overall, I feel like we had a solid draft, but yeah, I've never seen that. 2 guys guaranteed potential, and they actually ended up being worse. Just got screwed over there by EA. Luckily, you know, they were 7th round picks and not, you know, a 1st round pick that was supposed to be a guaranteed medium franchise or something. I'd have been absolutely livid. Also, 2 guys, it's time to re-sign our head coach. I mean, we've had 2 pretty good playoff runs here through the first 2 years, so I definitely will be keeping him, especially since, you know, I do like to keep the coach if possible, just to keep that record and everything. Hopefully he'll say yes. And so around the resign phase here, guys, we've got just under $27 million in cap space. Luckily here, our top, like, you know, 6-7 players, they're all under contract. Alex DeBrinket's actually an 88 now. Unfortunately, though, Malkin and Crosby did drop by 1. Looks like Carlson went up by 1, though. I want to say he was 88. Now he's an 89, so that's awesome to see. Byram there, still 84. Also, potential has dropped from high top 4 to medium top 4, so probably was not worth the 1st and the 3rd we gave up for him, but I mean, I guess that's the risk you take. Connor Murphy here would be great to come back. Obviously, we're trying to make one more playoff push. I think next year will be our last with the core because obviously they're going to be getting older and older. So he's 33. Ideally, we get him on a 1-year deal. Now, he's not too interested in that 1-year deal, so I don't know. Maybe we'll be letting go of Murphy there. Jamie Benn I would like to bring back as well. He wants a 1-year. He only wants 3.5. That's actually super fair and a lot cheaper than he was to start the season. So 3.4, save us 100K. There we go. Accept the offer immediately. Now, Capo Caco here set out the entire season last year. 2.5 for 2 years. Honestly, I wouldn't mind doing like a long-term deal on Capo Caco. He doesn't want that though. So 2 years, he's still an RFA. I feel like 2.3 for 2 years is quite fair. No instant accept, but I think he'll be saying yes. Also, Ricardo Kell here, making 5 for the next 2 years. Probably going to look to trade away that contract. Radko Gudas for the right price. He wants 275. That's not that bad. Actually, speaking of him, guys, let's take a look here at the defense. So the top 4 is under contract. If we brought back Gudas, we could then just get a cheaper guy for the bottom pair instead of Connor Murphy, which honestly, Gustafsson, I was mentioning him, you know, getting a trade offer, 2078. If we call him up, he actually could definitely grow. Like, he's got 4.5 star physical there. Looks to be a decent bottom pair guy. So yeah, let's give him a chance. He'll replace Murphy, save some money. And he's left-handed, so I'd go perfect with Gudas on the bomb pair. Now, he wants 2 years. I'm definitely looking at 1. He's not quite as interested, but we could overpay him a little bit. Try like 285 for 1 year. I do see he loves the organization, so maybe that'll make up for the contract. Also, guys, in regards to the goalie, like I said, Blomqvist here going to be the starter, at least for the next couple years. Wow, and he's going to be so cheap. Let's see, 3 years. He's not interested at all in 3 years. Okay, I mean, 2 years, he's giving us an absolutely insane contract. We'll do 1.25, 2 years. If he says yes to that, yeah, so we get super cheap starter for next season. Brossois there will let go. Obviously, Fleury will be the backup. Ivankovic, if he goes back to junior, he'll be coming up the year after. Fleury wants 2. I mean, I don't see him playing that long, but we're going to keep him no matter what. We'll offer Fleury 185 there for 2 years. He should say yes. And it looks like we probably have to sign an AHL starter if Ivankovic does go back to junior. And look at the NHL here. Right now, you'd have Ben, Robertson, McGrory, and I guess Capo Caco all fighting for like the second line. Ideally, we can get, you know, somebody a bit better in free agency, especially if it's a veteran on a 1 year, because I feel like the year after, like I said, we'll probably be rebuilding. Lars Eller, still a decent 4th liner, 37 years old. He wants 1.5. That's not bad. Poulin here could get called up to be 4th line this year. 800K on a 1 year. 2 years, he's actually still pretty interested. 3 years, not so much, but at 950K, I think he would say yes. Boyvinen wants 1.2. He's 78, so just going to qualify him. Also, guys, Achari here is down to a 77 at 34, so even though he's got, like, the good faceoffs and stuff, we're just going to have to let him go. I think he's just going to keep getting worse. All right, guys, so first things first, our head coach is coming back, which is nice to see. He said he wasn't, you know, a huge fan of the offer, but mulling it over, I accepted, even though, like, we offered him, I think, an extra 400K than what he was asking for. Gudas here rejects. Just a feeling I need to test free agency. I mean, whatever, fair enough. We can go sign somebody else for the bottom pair. Fleury's coming back. Kakko's coming in. I think, again, that's going to be huge. Ellie there as well, stay on that fourth line. Poulin there, probably playing fourth line left wing this year. And so the guys left expiring are actually Gudas and Koivunen. We got 21 million cap space, can easily get a bottom pairing defenseman with that money. Koivunen there should accept the qualifying offer. Like, I don't see anyone stealing him. So, yeah, I'm looking to add a bottom pairing defenseman for like, 2 million, maybe 3 million bucks, and then try and get basically the best forward we can for the second line. Maybe even a couple guys. And if we can trade away Raquel's contract, we'd actually bring in like a couple studs to play in the top 6, plus a defenseman, in which case I think we're in a really good spot. Obviously, a big reason for that are 2 goalies there, making a combined like sub 3 million bucks, which is huge. And throughout the free agency period here, guys, like I was saying, hopefully some good players available. Oh my goodness. Kirill Kaprizov makes it to free agency. Talking about a sniper on the first line. I mean, ADB might go to the second, but you have to go for that guy. 13 million bucks. We have the money. Ovechkin as well. We beat him in the playoffs last year, and he's leaving Washington. I really wish there was some sort of like, even if it was behind the scenes, loyalty factor where, those long-term guys would stay with their teams. Anderson, of course, number 1 defenseman. We already have Carlson and Letang on the right side, though. Definitely don't need him. You got Alex Tuck there. Let's see. Brent Burns, Sam Bennett, Michelli, Tarasenko. Condre Miller is an RFA. Okay. If he was a free agency, that'd be big. Line goes to free agency. And he's actually asking for a lot less now. He wanted 10.5 from us. Now he's asking for 7.5. Like, what the heck? Jordan Eberle, Kirby Dach there, still an RFA. Same with Hayton. Josh Manson could bring in pretty similar money there to what Murphy was asking for. You got Ekholm. Okay, so I think we have to go for Kaprizov here. Now, if we get him, I don't really think we'll be able to rebuild, but obviously he's like the guy we're building around for the future. Even after Crosby Malcolm retire, we still have a star on our team. Wants a full no move. I'm fine with that. Now, organization, he's not, super interested. Honestly, it could offer him more money. Look, honestly, though, I think he's the guy we should start negotiation with, trying to kind of like convince him to sign with us. And look at that, it's actually successful charming him, so that's the first thing that's good. Doesn't want to tell us, what other teams are interested, so we'll ask about the contract. He wants 7, so we'll say we're looking at 7. He wants 13 million. Now we'll try improving the offer here. I think first things first, he's definitely going to be on line 1. He also wants a clause. We're going to do a full no move. And all of a sudden, guys, look at that. Max contract interest. Now, organization could still be better, but we literally cannot make the contract better, so might as well just, offer him this and hope for the best. And check this out, guys. Looking at goalies here, Thatcher Demko, 88 overall, wants almost 10 million bucks. Mrazek there. Dustin Wolf's a free agent at 25. Interesting. So I mentioned needing an AHL starter. Could sign Jake Allen, but he's 35. I think Greaves here, 25.79, would actually be perfect. Medium fringe potential. Wants 800K there on a 1 year. We can get him on a 2 year for 900K. That'd be even better. And there you go. He says yes. So AHL team has their starter. And in terms of the defense, as I mentioned, we only need like a bottom pairing guy. Don't have to go out and spend, a ton of money on any of these players. So I mean, Nick Leddy, I feel like TVR, Cam Fowler. Now, Gudas here we could bring back. One team interested. I'm actually eyeing TVR here, guys. 2.2 million for a 1 year, 82 overall, 87 D awareness there, 94 shot block, 89 stick check. He's 34 years old, so unlike, say, I don't know, Sherratt there's 35, Martinez 38, Suter 41. All those guys, because they're so old, there's a good chance they drop in the summer. I think TVR should be safe at 34. He wants an 8-team no trade. I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, honestly, we have the money. Let's just, like, overpay him a little bit here. 2.3 million on a 1 year. Wow, he accepted immediately there. So, there we go. Our defense is set. Now, if we get Kaprizov, we'd still have about 7 million bucks to try and sign another, second line forward. Now, DeBrincat would be our second line right wing, although we could actually have Malkin second line center with Kaprizov and DeBrincat on the top line. So, I guess here, just kind of looking for whoever would fit us the best. Now, it would be kind of crazy, guys, bringing in Ovechkin. I know him and Crosby have always talked about playing together. Obviously, he's boys with Malkin, so I don't know. Maybe should we have made him an offer instead of Kaprizov just for like that one final year with all the old guys? I guess we could make him an offer. So I tried charming him, guys. Unfortunately, it did not work. In terms of the contract, definitely want a 1 year. I'll give him a no move clause too in that final year. Ovechkin obviously be playing power play 1. Now the only thing with this, I'm going to table the contract for the next, I don't know, 4 days until we hear back from Kaprizov. So Ovechkin basically is our kind of second option. And looking at two-way goalies here, guys, really nobody too great. So I'm probably going to pass on all of them. Now two-way skaters, Noel Gunler, 24.76, low top 6. Looking like he's probably a bust, but might as well, give him a chance. I think we do have the contract spots. Also give a chance to Luke Misa here, 20.70. I know in our Flames franchise, he never really turned out, but never know. Also, guys, do this all the time. I'm going to sign Curtis Douglas here on 1 year deal just to play 4th line AHL. Dude's 6'9". We've also got Imam on the team, so we could have, those two as our bash bros in the A. Just got off here, guys, from Seattle Kraken. Dumoulin, 4th and a 5th for Jamie Benn in a 3rd. Obviously, Dumoulin, former Penguin. I feel like Ben, though, cheaper, and we obviously need forward help more than defensive. So we need to hear back from Kaprizov. We just got a new scout there. This free agency actually had a good amount of A scouts available, so you always want to sign those guys in the summer. Just try and get the best scouting team you can. Now we're still waiting to hear back from Kaprizov. A second and a fifth for Ben O'Connor. I'm guessing like the AIGM or something put Ben on the block. Bordelot there, just another scout. I think I made an offer on like 5 guys. Kaprizov goes with the Blue Jackets. Oh my goodness. Talk about a quick rebuild. They get McKenna first overall, and then they sign Kaprizov. That is crazy. Better fit his needs. I mean, alright. Gunler there joined the AHL team. I guess we gotta hope Ovi's still available. David Savard, again, we don't really need defensive help. What's crazy too is Kaprizov had the max contract interest when we made him that offer. So Ovechkin here, we're gonna offer what we had agreed to. And just to try and, make sure he says yes, because we have that extra money, I'll give him 9.5 for 1. He should be happy. Like, he's literally making more than Sid and Malkin. And even after Ovi signs, you guys, we'd still have $10 million there to try and get, like, a second line forward. Like, Adrian Campe wouldn't be too bad, but I feel like that money, honestly, might be better, like, saved for the future. Now, looking at Nick Foligno here, 85 overall, could be, like, the perfect third-line center. Power forward there, 5-star physical, pretty solid defensively. Former captain, bring him into this veteran team. Could even be like a super 4th liner. His contract interest is max. Organization there's not, but we'll give him 1 year, $4 million. I think that's what he made with the Blackhawks. And now I have fellow here, guys, also available. 32.82, wants $2 million bucks on a 1 year. Solid defensively there. So I'm just thinking a guy that can help us out on the PK. We're definitely gonna have scorers. Pretty much, this looks like it should be an immediate accept. And there we go. Okay, so I think, yeah, the team should be in a pretty decent spot here. And again, with all that cap space, honestly, could probably just keep Raquel for 1 more year, then have an easier time trading him away with next season. Lars Eller here for a 3rd, essentially. Gonna say no. Connor for a 4th round pick. I mean, if we bring in Iaffello, that's actually not terrible. He's 80 overall, right on. He's kind of just like a dude. I feel like I would take the 4th rounder there from the Caps. Maybe this is a good sign. We give them O'Connor, and they give us Alex Ovechkin. Nick Foligno rejects. Went with the Florida Panthers. I mean, I thought we gave him exactly what he wanted. Ovechkin said yes. Okay, so some people are going to hate this for sure, but again, Crosby and Malkin have, voiced how it'd be, so cool to play together. They do it at the All-Star game every year. If Ovi left the Capitals, I think the Penguins would be pretty high up there, especially if Sid and Malkin are still playing. Sid, of course, he's got that rivalry, but also they respect each other. Malkin's a buddy of his. This could be nuts. And after those signings, guys, we still have $10 million in cap space, which is pretty crazy. That would allow us to get a superstar at the trade deadline. Now, looking through here in free agency, I'd like Kirby Dach, but he's an RFA, so might go explore that. Other than him, like Burns, we definitely don't need. Really, no one else here, kind of enticing me too much. So I might explore the trade market, try and bring somebody in that makes sense for this team. And actually, Koivunen here, guys, who we've made an offer sheet on, is only asking for $800K now for 2 years, so should be able to get him locked up. And so I was looking around the league, guys, and Kadri's on the block here with the Calgary Flames, making $7 million for the next 3 years. Would be a great second-line center, I think, behind Crosby. 88 overall. Last year, he actually had, 79 points there. Two-way forward, can do it all. Like, he's got 890 awareness, decent shot there, solid hands, pretty good physical, so he can play power play, play PK. And again, 35 years old. He's trying to help us win the cup now. We're not really worried about the contract in the future. We're actually trading over Raquel, so it's only costing us a couple extra million for the next 2 years. And then in that 3rd year, like I said, when he's making $7 million bucks, we'll probably be rebuilding anyways. Offering up a 2nd and a 4th with Raquel. Value's pretty equal. He's on the block. Let's see what the Flames say. Trades rejected. They said quite far off. Okay, I thought that was honestly a pretty good offer by me, but we'll try a 2nd and a 3rd. Trade still rejected. So I don't really want to give up a 1st round pick because, even if it's a mid-first, we're going to be using those guys really to build this team. But I would be willing to do 2 seconds with Raquel to get Kadri. At that point, though, the value's way on our side. Maybe it's because they see Raquel as a bit of a cap dump, to be honest. So should we try this trade without Raquel and just do the 2 seconds? They said just a bit low. Okay, so maybe we're about to find out whether or not Raquel actually has positive value. And he does, because they said yes. All right, so I think that's a big-time trade. And looking at our contracts, guys, we still have almost $9 million in cap space. Also, too, you can tell, this is our kind of final year to go for it. Sid, Carlson, Malkin, Ovi, DeBrincat, all on expiring deals. They're either going to all want to raise or they're probably going to all retire. So it should be a fun next year. And because I picked up Ovi, guys, who's going to be playing on the 1st line with Sid, I'm going to tell Sid to pass the puck more. Basically make sure Ovi's shooting that puck as much as he can. And now the Edmonton Oilers here, guys, are making us a really good offer. A 2nd for a 5th, a 6th, and Eller. That is kind of nuts. I feel like, Eller would be a nice 4th line forward, a PK guy, but a 2nd round pick for him. He's only 80 overall. I might just say yes to this. Also, too, I did see that they had Henrique on the block. No longer is the case, okay. So, if we do this trade, we'll probably have to go and get a different 4th line forward, but Honestly, yeah, the second round pick, that's too good of an offer. I gotta say yes. And now look at this, guys. We need a fourth line center. You got Alex Wenberg and Charlie Coyle, both still available. Both have max organization interest, probably because they want a contract. It's August. Wenberg there, 80-60 awareness, 90 shot block and stick check. Oh my goodness, that's actually better than Eller. And then Coyle here, 87. I mean, he's not that bad either. Wenberg's got 4 teams interested in him. Coyle's only got 1. He's a little bit cheaper. He's 34 though, so his rating could drop. Wenberg, I really like those stats. So honestly, we're just going for it this year. I'm just going to overpay him. $2 million bucks. We have the money. It's costing us like 500K more than Eller. Yeah, immediate accept there. We bid out those other teams. And all of a sudden, yeah, we're laughing. We got a second round pick. We got a better fourth line center. We still got $8 million in cap space. All right, guys, so it's now start next season. Coach is talking to us. We're going to see what he thinks about our team for the year. Again, he just says we're good enough to compete for a playoff spot. Honestly, I feel like this is probably the final year for this core. I'm going to tell him, let's try and make the Stanley Cup final. I feel like, you know, it's worth just going for. And then in terms of the preseason, as always, I'm just going to do the team bonding. And now next year, guys, I'll show what the team is looking like for next season. As you can see on that first line, it's probably the oldest line ever in hockey. Ovechkin, Crosby, and Malkin, totaling 120 years old. And they're all still, like, really high rated. 88 for Malkin and Ovi, 92 for Crosby. Plus, they get the +5. Second line there, you got McGroarty playing with Kadri to Brinkett. I think that's honestly a very solid top 6. Third line there, you got Kakko, Ben, and Robertson. Ben's dropped all the way down to an 82, so he's lost 4 overall over the past, 365 days. IFL there on the fourth line, playing with Wenberg and Poulin. He's getting called up to the NHL team. Defensively here, we got Byram, Karlsson still in that top pair. We got Letang, Pettersson on the second, with Gustafsson getting the call up, playing with TVR on the bottom. Chemistry for the defense could be better, but whatever. Blomqvist there's our starter, now 85 overall. Fleury down to an 80, backing him up. So Fleury, probably his last season. Again, Blomqvist elite potential, looking really good. I was worried last year playing some AHL might hurt his growth, but doesn't seem to be the case. In terms of the AHL team, we also got some pretty good players. Koivunen there's 79, Morozov's an 80. You got a couple more 79s like Ponomarev there, Dragachensev, Tanner House coming up. O'Reilly now, probably future, third liner for us. He's in the A. Defensively here, Pickering's a 77. Brunick here, 75 overall at 20 years old, medium top 4 as well. So we do have some young players coming up. Goaltending wise, Greaves again should be a solid AHL starter. So really excited for next year, guys. Again, definitely I feel like we probably have the oldest team in the league. So imagine we win the Stanley Cup with those guys. I feel like it'd be a really good, send off. Watch imagine Sid, Malkin, Ovi, Letang, Karlsson, Fleury all retired at the same time after winning the Stanley Cup together. And now for next year, guys, in terms of our ratings, we got 90 offense, 89 defense, 84 goaltending. Like I said, should be a really fun year. Hopefully, guys, stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed this one, leave a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.